Ready for our work session? Yep. All right, everyone, we're going to start our work session now. We'll start with 317 Chestnut Avenue. I know we saw this one last time. Comments from the board?
Just had a comment on the treatment below the porch. Right now it's open. I understand it's a sunroom, but the way it's built, it feels more like part of the building instead of a sunroom now. So I feel like that should be covered below the room.
Yes,
Take the siding down or do a lattice or something.
or even have to post and something.
Yeah,
You just, rather than just the stick with the stick.
yeah.
I just want to say that the roof rework to make it more accurate, this was helpful.
Yeah.
And I noticed that maybe the windows on the end and the two sides on the porch, on the second story, don't align the heads.
Yeah.
I would suggest they align.
Mhm.
Either go up or go down. I don't know, but opinion.
All right, any other comments? All right, we can move to 104 South Rock Hill Road.
This one has they're calling it the back elevation, but it's the elevation that you would look at from the home into the rear yard. That wall is 36 feet long and there's nothing on it. I feel like that needs some articulation, whether it be a window or some kind of detail. It's a long face with nothing on it.
I also had that comment. I wonder what the reason was for having a 36-foot blank wall, especially one facing the house. So we can discuss that. And then also to having the corner trim and the window and door trim match the width and trim style of the house trim will help blend the two buildings together a bit more. I think that would be helpful.
All right, any other comments?
Same.
All right, we can move on to 8515 Big Bend Avenue Garage.
Rents and AP.
Yeah, I thought on the left side elevation, maybe add a window into the garage. I don't know if that would help that or not, but it's my only comment. And the fascia, maybe rake boards match existing house along with the corner trim.
I was curious about their roof slope. The existing house has a pretty low slope. And it's a hip roof. I didn't know if we wanted to try to keep it low or if there's a reason that maybe there's storage up above in the garage.
Yeah, I was wondering if they considered a hip since the house is hip and a lower slope to just help with compatibility.
Yeah.
All right. We can move on to 537 Lee Avenue.
I had some scope clarification questions on this. Are all the windows in that existing house being replaced with a 4/1 style? It looks like on the drawings, there's a 4/1 style shown on parts of the existing house, but that is not currently the existing window style. And also too, I was wondering, I mean, it's nicely drawn, but we don't really have a drawing of the new
Yeah.
addition in context of the existing house.
Same color.
And it's very hard to judge how compatible it's going to be when we don't have that. And I think it's especially important when the new addition is so clearly visible from the front of the house that we see the full context.
Yeah, I was thinking of that,
Mhm.
not in the context, but thinking of that they call it a skirt roof.
Yeah,
If those, if that,
aligned.
the brackets make sense or compare, yeah,
Brackets seem oversized.
Yeah, they seem a little big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see how that skirt roof is in elevation with the existing roof in the house, if we had that full elevation. Now it looks like there's a band board just on the front. And it doesn't turn the corner. Which I thought was a little odd if it doesn't happen at the bottom of the gable, it's kind of stepped down a little bit.
Mhm.
Seems like you'd want to see that wrap.
yeah, and it'll become part of the window header.
Mhm.
Yeah, it looks like there is well, it's hard to tell. Again, if you had a drawing, you could see it, but in the photograph, looks like a piece of trim in the front of the house, running at that elevation.
Oh, that's what it is.
Okay, we can discuss that one. Next we can move on to 643 Marshall.
I was wondering if that siding on the front elevation actually turns the corner and returns to the recessed area by the front door. Also wondering about what finish material is on that front canopy. And maybe discuss adding some more windows to the side elevation.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then the further Carol's comment, how the transition from the stucco to the siding on the corner, the primary corner, how that's detailed. Looks like it's just a gutter hiding the transition or a downspout hiding the transition. Didn't know if that was different.
Mhm.
This is small, I think, again, but with the window composition above the front entry. If you want to move the double window over
Yeah.
to give more space in the corner
Mhm.
to match the other window, I don't know how that's. We're making a fork gang window if that's even allowable inside, I don't know if it is or not. Oh, it looks like it's probably the.
That's kind of a bummer to have that scupper drain spout come out right there. And that flat roof. It's almost like maybe you want to slope it the other way and catch this other vertical coming down on the right-hand side,
Where's that at?
like this downspout on the front. Right here,
Left.
Yeah.
maybe
Wow.
it could tie into this one or something, it wouldn't be
Mhm.
so It's like right in front of that nice piece.
All right, we can discuss 643. Then the last one is number 4, Barbary Court, covered porch.
Kind of like it.
I didn't have any comments.
Now, no comments.
Yeah, I was good with it, so we could move that one to pre-approval.
Yep.
Right, so it's our work session. We're gonna take a 16-minute pause or so, and we'll resume the official meeting at 5:30. Thank you. All right, welcome everyone. We have finished our work session. The official meeting for the Architecture Review Board is now underway. Introduce Yolanda Wilkins and Jim Bailey with the city. Carol Dunkey, Tracy Collins, Chuck Yannicki, David Yates, and myself, Bob Buckman, all volunteer architects on the board. First item of business is review of meeting minutes from September 5th, which 4 of us are present for. With that, can I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the September 5th meeting minutes as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. All right, the meeting minutes are approved as written. Next, we have one pre-approval from our work session. Number 4, Barbary Court. May I have a motion on that?
Make a motion to approve for Barbary Court as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, number 4, Barbary Court is approved. So if you're here for that project, you're free to go. At this point, if we read your project, we would ask that you come up to the microphone if you're here in person and introduce yourself, and we'll discuss your project. If you're online, you can raise your Zoom hand and Yolanda will add you to the meeting. First one is 317 Chestnut Avenue addition. Public hearing as well.
That's a resubmittal.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's a resubmittal. Sorry.
Still good?
Welcome back.
This is my dad, Peter Faber. He's the owner and I'm his daughter, Allie Faber.
Hey, Fabers.
Welcome back.
Yeah. We moved a bunch of the windows. We added a bunch more details just to try to show you what it would look like. And yeah, and we changed the roof line to make it make more sense. So we're hoping you guys saw that we addressed a lot of your concerns from last time and everything. So yeah.
I think the redesign with the windows and the roof, I think it's a lot more clear and cohesive with the house. It looks great.
Great, thank you.
I think there are a couple of questions still about, go ahead, Tracy.
No, I-
Yeah,
Just
go
gonna
ahead, Tracy.
Talk about the one comment I had about the treatment of the base of the home or the addition. Right now it's open and I know it's a sun porch, but since there are fewer windows, it looks more like part of the home. So I was wondering if maybe we could take the siding down or maybe put lattice underneath it just to finish it off a little bit more.
You want some underpinning
What's that?
He
Some
couldn't hear
underpinning?
you.
under the,
Not under, well, I mean, just like a treatment to close off the open part underneath it.
underneath? Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What would you like?
I think it would be fine to do siding or lattice, or if anybody has
Okay.
any opinion on other treatments.
We
or-
can do that.
Yeah, just something that's compatible with the style of the home. I think
Okay.
that would make it look a little more substantial since it does look like a living space addition.
And then my comment was on the second level, the W4 windows on the sides and the W3 windows on the back.
Can you
The
guys
heads-
speak up just a little bit?
Oh, I'm
He's
sorry.
having trouble
Oh, I'm
hearing.
sorry. Yeah. The windows on the sides and the window on the main front of the porch on the second level don't line up, the heads. So I'd either raise one or lower one so that the head heights align. And
So the head heights align?
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
base, the bottoms can be at different levels, or do the bottoms need to align?
oh, are they different heights?
Yeah, they're all the top
Okay,
levels
yeah.
are all aligned, but the bottom bases just were a little bit higher on the sides.
Okay, because on the elevations, it looks like they're not the same height of the head,
Better height.
the header height,
They'll
yeah.
all be the same height, but then on the sides, the side windows are just like 1 foot shorter, just from the bottom.
I think it's better to line the heads.
Yeah, so they're all aligned on the
Okay.
headers.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, so I think that's what you're saying. And that the windows on the first floor all align their head heights. The windows on the second floor all align within the screen porch. All 3 sides.
Right, just right here, they're not, that shows it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're going to.
They're going to, right.
Yeah, all of the windows will
Yeah.
be aligned to the header. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Anything else?
Just that your rake boards and fascia boards, that all match the existing house on the from the new addition?
Yeah, all the fascia boards will be will
Mhm.
be
Be a
matching
match.
the existing house. And
Okay.
what was the other word you said?
The fascia boards.
Yeah, all the fascia boards will match the house
Okay.
existing. Mhm.
Existing is, it's got the aluminum
Yeah.
fascia board on it, and it's got, a beadboard aluminum, or probably vinyl, beadboard.
Okay.
On the
All right.
side.
And then on your stair details, you don't indicate what your heights are on the railings. I know that's a, a review thing, but
Our stair details don't indicate heights.
on your railings and.
Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, they'll be 36 inches. Okay.
All right. Well, it sounds like just infilling below with either siding or lattice work was what was discussed as a change. And if that's agreeable, then we can set a motion.
Yes, it's agreeable.
All right.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve 317 Chestnut with the following understandings. Add lattice or siding below the porch down to grade. Indicate that the fascia and rake boards will match the existing, that the window heads on the porch all align, and indicate what the railing heights are on the stairs.
Yes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, you're approved as noted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your time.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
All right, next we have 104 South Rock Hill Road.
Hello
Good evening.
again. Debbie Richardson with Coach House Garages. I think during the pre-meeting, you guys mentioned some, maybe wanting some windows or something on the back side, and so we've had some discussions. We would like to, not we, you guys would like to put a solid walk-in door on the left end, if you're looking at the back elevation. And then a 6/6 window that matches the house, and all the trim would match on that door, and that window would match the house as well. So there would be a walk-in door and one window on that expanse of elevation.
Do you have an idea of what the size of the window will be, the proposed size, and will it be centered or where will it be?
Well,
Well, I
it's a
think-
32 by 44. I'm sorry. You want to?
Yeah, one would be on the, if you're facing the back of the door, one would be on the right side, the window, and then the door would be on.
Yeah, we
sort of
kind of drew it here.
Balance it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It wouldn't be centered.
Okay.
Yeah, the door would be to this side, the window would be to this side.
I got you.
They
Okay.
feel like that if they're
That-
gonna have something on there, another walk-in door would be helpful.
Mhm.
And
I agree.
that's a double hung window?
I'm sorry?
That's a double hung window?
Yes.
Double hung, and you said 6/6, was that you were
Number
playing?
6. Mhm. And that's the only note I took, but I wasn't here at the very, very beginning of that, so I
Yeah.
don't know if anyone else had something else or not.
Yeah, just kind of the usual thing that y'all hear from us a lot. Is if to have like the corner trim and the window and door trim match the
Yeah,
width and the
everything's gonna-
style of the house, house trim. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
We want that.
I
Okay.
think somewhere in the building specs, or I think we started mentioning that everything will match.
It's just, when
So-
we're looking through these, we generally look at the,
That everything's
It's
gonna
only
match.
4
that.
inches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put it on the elevation.
Yeah, and then also, as well as noting it, because we're looking at the elevations, we're looking at the graphics, and we're looking at the photos of your house. So when they look dramatically different, that's why it comes up as a
Yeah.
comment. So if it, if they are on the drawings, matching
Yeah.
the house and then noted, that would be real helpful.
Yeah, we'll get it on the elevation sheets.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, it looks like it, some of it is noted as 4 inches, which I don't think would be matching the house. That corner trim looks pretty
Yeah,
beefy.
it
Yeah.
does. That's why I was saying that, the drawing, if the intent is for
Yeah.
the garage to trim to match the house, when we look at the photo of the house and we look at the drawing, they do not look similar.
We
Hmm.
want it to look similar.
Yeah.
Great, that
Yeah.
sounds perfect. Thank you.
Okay. I think that was all on the comments then. Appreciate, the feedback. So with the agreement on the window and the door and the trim, may I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve 104 South Rock Hill Road with the following revisions. On the back elevation that faces the house, there will be an additional man door on the left-hand side and a double hung 6/6 window on the right-hand side of that elevation. And the trim will match the trim size and style of the existing home.
Got it down.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Oppose? All right, you are approved as noted. Thank you. All right, next we have 8515 Big Bend.
Still have me.
Welcome
Um,
back.
The couple of things that you guys were talking about in the pre-meeting was about the elevation and perhaps doing less of a slope and doing a hip roof because of the house. We have been in contact with the homeowner. He is not in favor of doing a hip roof for a couple reasons. He's using a spread web truss and planning to be able to have some storage up there, and he would lose that storage with a hip roof. And he doesn't really want to lose that storage. Also, he would prefer not, he doesn't want it to be a deal breaker, but he prefer not to put a window in there. He said, he's just gonna be looking out at neighbor and he doesn't have a reason to, and it's another like $450. So, he would prefer, this is a really expensive garage already because of the way the foundation is, so, I think those are the two things you guys brought up during that, pre-meeting.
And then the usual comment about the trim style
Sure,
and size
yeah,
matching,
yeah.
right?
I know we don't always say it on there, but we always do match. I don't know why. We'll make sure we do it better.
Just one thing, if the decision is to stick with the gable and the slope as is, would you consider adding something to that front elevation in that gable, like maybe a decorative louver or something, just to kind of break it up a little bit?
Well,
Whether that would be a gable end louver or an octagonal or something that would, I think, add some interest to that elevation.
I mean, again, it's gonna add cost and he's trying to keep the cost where it is. We could proceed as though he will, but, we would have to run that past him, and then if he doesn't, then I could get back in touch with Jim and, but we could go ahead and approve it as though we are going to add it. And, you know what the cost is on the louver? Do you know what the cost would be to add that louver? Okay. Dennis is gonna take it out of his deep pocket over there, so I guess we're gonna add it.
Thank you.
Is there going to be any finish on the exposed concrete? I know that the house has the painted foundation. I was just curious, is there going to be any finish on the exposed concrete?
I know we won't be doing that, but I don't know if the homeowners plan on painting it or.
The yard slopes off the east to that.
Yeah, it's painted now.
Yeah.
It's still down the hill.
Yeah, I was just asking if there was any plans. All right.
I think he's raised his hand. He might want to say something.
Oh, well, there he is.
Hello.
Homeowner. Painting it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes. Okay. Hello. For that last question about the foundation, we're actually having landscaping company. We've had them come out and drop some sketches, so there'll be landscaping around that area in front of the foundation.
Okay.
So,
All right.
so the only change I have is to add the gable louver.
Mhm.
All right. With that, I may have a motion on 8515 Big Ben.
I'll make a motion to approve 8515 Big Bend with the following understandings. Decorative gable louver will be added to the front gable, and the trim will match the house trim in style and width.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right, you're approved as noted. You're welcome. Good night. Next, we have 537 Lee Avenue.
Evening, I'm Mike Killeen, the architect.
Hey, Mike.
Evening. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you. So do
Yeah.
I wait for questions? You want me to walk you through it?
No, were you
pretty-
here for the work session at all? Okay. We had a couple comments. One of them was just the drawings. I think we were all came to a consensus about being able to see the full front elevation would be really helpful.
Okay.
To just understand the context of, especially that skirt roof. To
Right.
see if maybe that aligns with the existing roof on the front, or is it not aligned? I think it'd just be helpful to see the full elevation.
Okay.
And then another comment was on the brackets on that skirt roof. They appear that kind of oversized. They look a little large. I don't know if there's a different way to do those or not.
Okay,
And then one thing that wasn't clear, which would probably show up in the full elevation, is that it looks like there's a band board that runs across the front.
At the midpoint of the window.
Yeah, and Bob was saying maybe that exists on the existing home already. Does it on the front elevation? It's hard to tell
I-
from the photos
yeah, I don't.
if
believe
maybe
so,
you were taking
actually.
that across or not.
Yeah, we were trying to have a little bit of variety over there, so it's not an exact match on that, so I don't believe we have one of those. Is that
It's hard to
something you
tell if it's
prefer
a
to see
shadow
go
or if
away?
it's- Is there two different types of siding on that
It,
front?
it looks like on the photos, that's why I was curious. It looks like there's a band board that runs through the center of the front. And it could be a material change. It's hard to really tell because
Yeah,
those
'cause
photographs are
'cause
so
I think
small.
it's just a shadow.
And the shadow aligns with the mutton of the window or the
So if that's
parting rail.
not there, would you prefer that we have the same siding going all the way up the building? Or-
No, I think I mean, I thought it was nice. I mean, I think that if they do have a band board, it should turn the corner though.
Okay.
Onto the side.
And like if it strikes the window head and becomes part of the window head, it might be
Yeah, then you don't.
look different than hitting hitting the
Yeah.
window midline or mid height.
Wait, that last one, I'm trying to catch
So
that.
if
So
that
you-
band board moved up to the window
I moved up
head,
to the top.
then it wouldn't need to turn the corner because your gable
Gotcha.
would kind of
Oh,
terminate.
that's a
at
good
the
idea,
same-
yeah.
same point.
Okay.
Kind of a scope clarification item. When I'm seeing the portions of the existing house, it looks like they're drawn with 4/1 windows, and I was wondering if the scope of work includes replacing windows on the existing house or why there's a different style of window on the addition? Could you give me some insight there?
As I look at the photos, I can see to the rear, we have 6/1
Mhm.
at the rear, but it looks like at the front facade, it's 1/1.
Yeah, and
So
what I'm
the-
seeing here is showing 4/1. So I'm just kind of clarifying what our intent is
The in-
regarding the existing house and regarding the addition window style.
Our- Okay, so that's a good question. Our intent is to match the architecture of the front of the building, so we're not trying to differentiate. So I will confirm that with these other edits and make sure it matches.
Okay, that sounds good.
Thanks for bringing that to our attention.
All right. Any other comments to the board?
I think it would be real helpful to see everything that we've discussed in context of the full elevation.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, so if you could do that and then I think and then just resubmit, we can table this vote until the next session. That would be ideal.
Be about 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
You guys meet every 2 weeks. You're a busy board.
Yes.
I sit on a board in the city. It's once a month and that's a lot of work. Okay, thanks for your
All right,
guidance.
great.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a good
You
night.
bet. Have a good night, Mike. Really cool. Come back. All right, and next we have 643 Marshall Avenue.
Yes, hi, I'm Joe Schlag with Jim Bolesky Architects.
Welcome, Joe.
Jim says hi, he's on a much deserved vacation.
Nice.
So I did take notes on the pre-meeting. The first one, I believe, was the siding on that bay in the front. Whether it returns back in the porch or not, and it does, so that's that whole corner. Followed up with what the finish of the canopy is, and that matches that siding, which is like aluminum flat siding. Material wise, white stucco, black roof, gutters, downspouts. Let's see. I'm gonna skip around a little on your list. The front windows, you mentioned the two on the second floor in the center, the two and the one. Those two double windows are centered on the stair, and then the single windows in the bathroom. That's kind of why they're
Okay.
laid out in that way.
It just, I mean, it's not big to me, just to seem.
Yeah.
They could compose better, but,
Okay, I mean, we can look at it, but yeah, they're laid out,
and I see.
centered in both of those rooms.
And then it's centered over the door below.
Correct, yeah. There was a note on the downspout from this canopy, whether we can switch it to the other side. We're fine with that. If that,
Maybe you could tie it into that one.
Yeah, tie it
other
into that
vertical.
one.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I think originally there was a little bit of balance we were going for with
Oh,
one on either
so-
side of the front porch, but we can,
that's true.
I did talk, Julian's on Zoom if we need him to, the builder, but we're fine either way.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a material change. You're putting it at the material
Right.
on the stucco on both sides, right?
Mhm.
That's
Instead of on this sort of.
Right.
Wall.
the
Yeah,
contrasting.
yeah.
So in some ways I can see the logic there. Myself.
See it both ways now.
Yeah. I'm.
Yeah.
We can circle back to that one. The windows, I think on the left side, the driveway side was a comment that came up. And I did talk to Julian, who's the builder again. This driveway side of the property is a lot of tall trees on the property line. And we're set back pretty good on Marshall. So the preference would be not to add any windows there. The first floor is a guest bedroom, so we want to be sure we can have a bed and a headboard and nightstands. Things like that. And then on the second floor is the primary bathroom. So we have a vanity along the wall, and then a toilet room towards the front.
Yeah, generally the preference is to focus on the building
Mhm.
rather than landscaping.
Sure.
Because, you know, sometimes landscaping doesn't survive. And if you've had one of those stormwater projects come through your neighborhood, you know, that's wonderful visual screening that's been there for years is
No.
gone and not coming
New
back
and
soon.
small.
Yeah. So, yeah, generally we tend to focus on the building rather than relying on plant materials to
Mhm.
cover something.
I know that was Julian's preference not to do the window, so I don't know if we need to get him on to discuss.
Yeah,
either
I'm
way.
here if you guys can hear me.
Yeah, welcome.
So yeah, just with those windows on the left side, because also where the front elevation sits, where the property has to be leveled out between the adjoining properties, it sits pretty far back. So that was my thing there's trees and that line almost goes probably 3/4 of the way through that left side of the property. Along with not just trees, but there's probably like 10-foot or taller bushes there. So you can't really, and even where the current building sits, current property sits, you can't really all see much of that left side anyway. And then Joe could probably speak further to how far back that the new property will actually sit. So that was my thing. But if it really comes down to getting an approval, me and Joe briefly talked about, we could put a small window, I guess, in that small in that toilet room, do something like
60 feet back from the street.
Yeah, I was looking at it and I think personally, I feel like the left side, has a lot of, you got material change going on. You got plenty of windows. If it were me, I would put a window in the bathroom just, from the inside and the outside. But,
Flicking the light on every time.
right, that alone, I think I would, I think would be a good move for the house, but I personally, wouldn't make it a requirement myself. I just think it would be a good thing to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. So if we want to just put a small window in there, during the daylight and everything, it does help bring a little bit more light into that bathroom.
Okay.
Match the first floor windows by the fireplace on that elevation, one of those smaller ones.
Yeah.
Smaller than that, I think.
Yeah, I think you could even go smaller. And obviously you could put obscure glass in it,
Mhm.
so privacy down the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you indicate anywhere where your size of trim and fascia is? I couldn't find it on the plans.
So we're using a vinyl siding, so it's the 2-inch J
Okay.
trim
At the windows?
at the windows.
Okay.
The front will have a built up, stucco sill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's pretty much covers them. I'll add the note to the garage door,
Mhm.
but that'll be a little beefier head, I think, back there.
All right. Anything else from the board? Back to that downspout, I think it's really up to you guys, in my opinion. I think it looks fine where you have it, but
Okay.
if you decide you wanted to
Think
move it.
about it, 'cause it did come up, so we'll talk about it again. Yeah.
It can be an option to relocate that or not.
Yeah, we could just put that in the motion. You could relocate if you want. All right, so we'll add the window to the left and make that an option. I think that covers everything. So with that, may I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve 643 Marshall Avenue with the following revisions. A small window will be added to the left side elevation in the toilet room. And there is an option for the applicant to switch the downspout on the front flat roof to the opposite side if they wish.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, Joe and Julian, you're approved
Thank
as
you.
noted. Thanks.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thank you.
Meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you, everyone.